Well, good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. This is a night of firsts. We've got our guest who has a birthday this evening. Our host is actually via location, literally via location. He's in a hospital bed at a hospital preparing for surgery tomorrow. So I'm not going to give our typical little intro because I'm tired. But, our co-host has changed. So I want to introduce Principal Cap, who still has a Brillo top for hair. It doesn't look like it's so Brillo-y today, though. But moving on, again, thank you, Deonte, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Let's go ahead and get on with it. So, Messiah, if you can get yourself away from the pretty ladies, let's start this interview.
Well, again, thank you for being on, and why don't you tell us about your upcoming match with, I believe, TNT Tyson Lee?
Pretty much. Well, we're scheduled for the first inclusion card on November 25th. It's supposed to be me versus TNT Tyson Lee. Just this past weekend, we kind of had some minor interactions with each other at BCW down in Junction City at the Grange. So he kind of made it known that he wanted to be, the elite champion. He wanted to come for the elite championship, which I hold, and he's not the only one that's coming for me. And I have a target on my back. I call myself the king, and I'm the elite champion. So a lot of guys are, gunning for me. So, but that's that, like I said, that's history there. Like 4 years of history. We've faced each other damn near every promotion we've crossed paths in. So definitely some history. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hard-hitting night, hard-hitting action. For sure. Nothing short of what we do to each other, or what we've done to each other. Like, it gets physical, violent. Sometimes there's been blood involved and weapons. So who knows? Hopefully I'm just hoping to have a really good, solid contest. Hopefully it doesn't devolve into too much chaos. But then again, it's me and Tyson Lee. So.
Go ahead, Messiah. Keep asking. This is your show, remember.
Can you tell us a little bit about that show you guys had in Junction City? I've heard you guys had a pretty good card that night. So
yeah, it was a really solid card. It was we had a debuting Luis De La Muerte going up against Lance Dean, Tobias Tops actually beat Tyson Lee, but that was because I offered a little help. Didn't really want to, but I offered a little help. Jakari Frost went up against Doc Cleaver. Solid match, like real hard hitting, two big men, a young bull and then the old vet, locking horns. Then you have myself versus Draven Vargas, and yeah, it didn't really go my way. TNT came out. The rest of the guys were with me. Kobe and Jakari were with me at ringside. And TNT came out, attacked him, kind of distracted me a little bit. And basically, I took my eye off the ball, and Draven picked up the 1, 2, 3. But again, like I said, everybody shoots at me. I'm the champ. Everybody wants a shot at the title. Everybody, Hellbound's on this little, kick. They're trying to pick up gold everywhere they go. I kind of had a chip on my shoulder because Draven called me a usurper, and I'm just like, really? I'm the usurper? But, that's another story for another time, I guess. But yeah, I actually ended up coming out and getting a little bit of revenge in the main event, though. It was a tag match, originally supposed to be JB Moonshine and Lone Star versus Rat King and Petrov, but they attacked JB earlier in the night, and so Lance came back out to team up with Lone Star and take JB's place. Al Tubbs got involved. The referee ejected Tubbs, so Doc Cleaver came out to even, to play the numbers game for Hellbound, and I just wasn't having none of that. So I went out there, and basically the tag match turned into a 6-man tag, and me, Lone Star, and Lance Dean walked away with the W.
Very nice. And I have to say, I saw your promo in front of the sign that said the Junction City, for the show that you cut on Draven to set that up, and it was very impressive.
Thank you.
Messiah, how does it feel knowing Deonte is talking shit about your best friend?
Hey, I don't fight. I don't pull any punches with Draven. That man can get himself in more trouble than anybody I know. So that man's also got one of the biggest egos I've ever known. So that doesn't surprise me at all. So
now I know where you get yours from.
Well, I did learn from the best. So
anyways. Go ahead, Nate. Keep going, buddy. Or what do you got?
Let's see. So, again, we want to thank you for being part of inclusion. I know when you and I have talked before, you said inclusion means a lot to you. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Maybe what it means to you.
Well, I mean, like, for me and what you guys are trying to do, I think is very impressive. Like I said, it's a thing where I feel like, you guys are definitely, you guys know that you are at a disadvantage in life because of, your physical disabilities that may prevent you from doing certain things, but it hasn't stopped you from trying to achieve a dream. I'm also like, I like the fact that you guys are trying to do charity work, as far as like, a food drive and a toy drive and, trying to help out like a youth group. And then you also have your friend who was a Special Olympian and got diagnosed with cancer. I think it's very admirable because it still shows that, no matter what limitations you may be given in life, you still can overcome and try to achieve something and stand for something and be about something, and I find that very commendable, and I find it very respectable because, any one of us as people, as humans on this earth, can be in the same position. Sometimes people tend to take for granted the gifts that they're given and they're blessed with. So, yeah, I think inclusion I think inclusion, especially in this world and in this day and age, inclusion matters no matter what ethnicity you come from, what background you come from, what what you want to do with what you want to do with your life, and everybody deserves to have a fair shot, have a fair shake. I feel like everybody, no matter what can be thrown at you, what type of adversity you face, I feel like you can be able to push through and do some extraordinary things.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, Heartbreaker. I know you got one question in there.
Well, I just like I like the inclusion vibe. So now, since we've got our first inclusion talent on with us, let's run down the card, shall we? Let's give Deonte a little taste of what's a coming in the show. We're gonna lead off with the first ever Cowlitz County Rumble, and that match is going to crown our inaugural Cowlitz County champion.
Mm-hmm.
First match out, we're going to crown our first inaugural champion. Second match, we have, I believe that is our showcase match, and that's going to feature Jamar, Stems, Kylan, Rowan, and a cat named Cyrus who works for CPW up north. Then we've got, what's our third match? Oh, our third match is you and Mr. TNT. Then we've got Miss Sunny Days versus Christopher Isaac. And then we've got after that. What am I missing? Oh, CJ Edwards and Arianis. And then there's a surprise match being thought of in the card. It's not going to be announced. It's going to be a surprise. So you must get the show to find out what that match is. Got to have a surprise in there sometimes, you know.
You forgot one.
What did I forget?
The good son versus the confused son.
That's right. We've got for the CPW family title, the good son Andrew Michelson, and the confused son Tomcat Jones, who's a very confused Tomcat. Just don't know why. He threw the good son in a lake at a family picnic. I don't know why. I mean, so other than that, I think that's the card. So you wanted me to ask a question, so there's my question. Back to you, Mr. Messiah.
So, what are some of the things that you have coming up, maybe other than inclusion, that you want people to know about?
So October 21st, I'm going to be in the building for Metal Mania 4. Then following that, October 28th, I'm scheduled to appear for Anarcho Pro Wrestling. Then the following night on October 29th, Reactivate Pro Wrestling up in Richland, Washington. In November's supposed to be Inclusion. And then December's open. I mean, there's still some dates open for November. There's dates open for October. Like I said, I'm always looking to get out to get to new places, wrestle new talent all the time, mix it up, establish myself in a new area, try to build on my platforms. Yeah. Other than that, I've just been, like I say, just trying to work hard, trying to study more tape and, find ways to, trying to get into meal prepping and exercising. So just pushing myself and trying to get into some peak physical condition, or best condition as I can get in for the youth I still have left at my age. Yeah. So yeah, I have Reactivate coming up. I have Anarcho Pro, Metal Mania 4. I'll be in the building. Like I said, Inclusion Pro is on November 25th. And as always, you can catch me at BCW. Like I said, I'm the Elite Champion, Pacific Northwest Elite Champion. And like I said, I'm trying to go in new places, enter new states, wrestle new opponents, build on opportunities.
Speaking of new opportunities for you, hang on, Messiah. Check out Flashback Pro Wrestling in Montana. Great promotion. Always looking for new talent.
Okay. Flashback Wrestling. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, and we actually had him on the podcast yesterday, and we actually dropped your name to him, so he'll be he'll know who you are when you guys reach out. So
Gotcha. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So being the Elite Champion in BCW, you're what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the longest reigning Elite Champion, or at least one of the.
I believe just about. I don't remember when Troy won it from JB last year, but I know we were on hiatus for about 6 months, so that still counts as part of his reign. So I think think I may have ways goes. I may have misspoke in the video a couple days ago. I think I may have like about a month or so to like catch up to where Troy was at. But I believe I do have the most title defenses as elite champion, and successful title defenses at that. Um, yeah, so I'm getting to that point pretty close. I believe I won it March 4th. So in 2 days that'll be 7 months.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, because BCW went down at the end of September. Yeah, 6 months. I beat him in March. So yeah, Troy might have had it for about 8 months. So I think I still got like another like month, like 31, 32 days to go to beat Troy for reign at least.
Absolutely. You know, that's the nice thing about our Khaled's title is it's 5 successful title defenses, and you get to do what they called in Impact and what we're bringing back called Option C. You can cash in that title for any title in Inclusion Pro Wrestling after 5 successful title defenses.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. So, but see here, Nathan, Pat, you haven't introduced yourself very much. You're new, so you have any questions?
What's your advice on an up and coming new manager?
Say that one more time.
What is your best advice for an up and coming new manager?
I mean, I don't know if I don't want to speak on something that I'm not fully knowledgeable of, because I don't have a lot of experience as a manager. Like I've accompanied my guys out to the ring, try to motivate things of that nature, but I haven't personally been a manager, so I don't want to speak on something that that I don't have full experience with. I would say just like any other person starting out in the business, whether you're a referee or you want to be a pro wrestler or you want to be a manager, find a reputable wrestling school where you can get the best training possible. There's a few in the area. One is Oregon Pro Wrestling School out in Hillsboro, which is, the premier school out here in Oregon. If you're in Washington area, there's Dragonplex Dojo out in Tacoma area. Also a very reputable school. There's also Relentless Pro has a wrestling school. SOS Pro Wrestling has a wrestling school. So there's a few places that you can go and, learn the craft that you're trying to learn if you're trying to be in this business. So if I had to give advice, that would be it. The best thing I could tell.
Hey, it's great advice.
Yes, it is.
So, without giving away too many of the secrets, when you're looking for like maybe a new member in your group, what is it that you look for? Is there a specific trade or style or?
Honestly, right now, I'm not looking for anybody in the group. I forgot to mention Saturday. Yes, the BBC broke up, or at least I disbanded the BBC.
Oh,
Yeah. So, if I'm being honest, like I don't know if people have been paying attention, but Tobias Tops feeling himself a little bit. He feels like he should be in my position. He should be, elite champion. He feels like I've been given too many opportunities and they should be his. And, he's called this shot at me a couple times. We've gone, we've we've gone toe to toe with each other. We've thrown blows at each other. It's I can't really say a friend of me, It's more like a acquaintance and I can't stand you, but if I have to work with you, I'll do what I have to do. But after that, I'll kick your ass. It doesn't really matter to me. But, I just couldn't deal with that anymore. Like I don't really deal with people that like to, backstab and if you feel like you're a star, what I'm saying, go ahead and be a star. But like in the movie said like in the movie The Temptations, it was said, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. They came for David Ruffin. Okay, you know, if this was the Jackson Five, I'm Michael. That's that's Jermaine. That's Randy. That's somebody you ain't looking at, and that's no disrespect. But like I said, when I reformed the group, I saw potential in both guys, and I felt like I was on my way up too. And as I'm learning and as I'm growing, I'm trying to, give back and help two young guys come up and push themselves and be, you know, try to be in the upper echelon of, wherever you work at, be able to show people that you can connect with the crowd, that you can back up what you say. You can walk the walk and you can talk the talk. Now, Jakari won a championship, only a year in, he won a championship. He's had some dominant victories. He's put on some good performances against some of the best talent in the Pacific Northwest. But at the same time, he also lost his championship on his first title defense. Now, don't get me wrong. Anybody can get you on your best day, on your worst day. Sometimes you take a loss and you got to take it on the chin. But in Jakari's case, though, I also know that he's still young and he's kind of in a situation of like he's going up and he's evolving and you can see it, but he's also trying to figure it out. And I told him I'll still have his back, but he has to kind of go out there and swim for himself, and I kind of have to focus on me right now. Honestly, trying to, be the leader of a group, trying to pursue my own dreams, trying to push myself. It's a lot of hard work, and it's not that I can't do it, but you kind of, as a leader, you have to see where people are going and where they best fit. And right now, the group isn't a fit. So it's just back to being the Black King, Deonte Ford, standing alone by himself.
Very interesting. So down the line, this is the goal for everybody in a promotion. But down the line, do you think we'll see the two kings go at it? Maybe for the Rat Kings, the championship, or maybe a title for title thing.
Honestly, I don't know. Me and Rat King have been on opposite sides of a ring from each other, but it's mostly been in tag team matches, whereas it was the BBC versus Hellbound. So we've never faced each other one-on-one yet. And it should have happened. I feel like it should have happened, and I feel like it will happen. It's just not a matter of will it happen, it's more when will it happen, So
yeah.
But again, like I said, if our paths cross, if the stars align and that's what's meant to happen, I don't back down from a fight. I don't back down from smoke. And I'm an asthmatic, so that says a lot. Either I'm very dumb or I'm very brave.
I'm gonna go with brave.
Yeah.
So you brought up Metal Mania. I know that's a different type of show than we normally see, maybe even in wrestling, period. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes that so different?
It's different because it's like the vibe is completely different. The atmosphere is different. Like, I know a lot of places will be like, well, we want that old school, like, ECW feel, that underground feel. And that's kind of what Metal Mania is. It's like, it's live, punk, rock, metal, alternative, like it's metal pretty much. It's like, it's pretty dope. Like, live bands, a lot of up and coming, bands that are making their name out on the metal scene, and you mix in pro wrestling with that and the hype crowd. And it's like a beautiful atmosphere. Like, they love, like, every time that I've been at a Metal Mania. The crowd always is invested. They always love to see it. You always get fans come up like, man, I was a fan of pro wrestling back in the day, and I didn't know that this was going on, or I didn't even know that there was, like events like this happening in my area. But like, you guys made me fall in love with wrestling again. Like, that's what Metal Mania gives to that audience. And it just shows that, again, like anything else, pro wrestling connects the world, just like music connects the world. So when you blend the two together, you have a dynamite 1-2 punch.
Very cool. Definitely have to go check that out.
I think the last Metal Mania there, Nathan, if I remember correctly, that was where your boy had to pay drinks for all of Hellbound because he was on the losing end of that match.
Yes, he did. I'm pretty sure he wasn't happy about that either. Because Draven might be hot-headed, but he's also a cheap man, too. I'll tell you that from personal experience. So, all right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
Well, I don't really want to get into our questions because there's nothing new. Well, actually, there is one new one, I guess. So, explain to us your pre and your post match routine.
Pre-match routine, just zone out. I just sit, find me a space. As I'm putting my gear on, I start zoning into, like tapping into an energy from my matches. Kind of close my eyes. I have my headphones on. I'm listening to music. I'm kind of just getting in the zone. I'm focusing in on, what's my plan of attack for the night? What am I trying to do? As far as how am I going to defeat my opponent? Other than that, just drink a little water. Make sure I hit the restroom before the match. And again, I just kind of just sit and I get in my own little zone. And then I pace. Like right before a match, like right before my match, I pace a lot. Because again, I'm just kind of like focusing in and I'm kind of like, tapping into that energy that only I can tap into, my energy. Yeah. And then I just go out there and then, it's like one of my favorite wrestlers says, it's showtime, like. And then post match is more so like trying to come down off an adrenaline rush. So try to get my breathing under control, make sure my asthma's under control. As far as like how I'm breathing, get my heart rate, to slow down. Don't want to like have it sped up too quickly and, have a panic attack or, it's different things that comes with it. Like I say, drink some water. I might actually go and get a soda and actually put some sugar and some other things back into my body. But yeah, other than that, nothing too major. A lot of times I stay after the show, after the cards are over and break down a ring and help load the ring back up into the truck. And then I just try to go find food and relax, decompress, let the muscles kind of, do their things and chill out. And then I go get in the shower and, just soak, shower or tub soak, things of that nature. Just normal stuff.
Well, this isn't so much a question as a statement. I have to give you credit for, people give us credit for doing inclusion with, as you did earlier, with our, stuff that we have. Being a professional wrestler at the level that you are with having asthma at the same time, I have to give you credit for that because a lot of people wouldn't think about, that in the same realm because of, if you exert yourself too much, there's always a chance that your asthma could kick up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like that since I was a kid. I've just kind of known how to control my breathing. Like there's been times I've had asthma attacks, or get a cold, as a child. Times where it'd be hard to kind of breathe, so I would have to control my breathing a lot because sometimes as a kid, absent-minded, you forget to rescue inhaler, the thing that helps you breathe. Sometimes you have to go to a hospital to get a breathing treatment. So when you're waiting in an emergency room, you have to wait to get a breathing treatment. You can't sit there panicking, so you have to learn how to control your breath. So it's helped me a lot when it's come to like training and doing cardio. And when I was younger, I did try out for sports. I mean, I wasn't the most athletically gifted because I couldn't really at that time. I didn't do what I needed to do necessary to dedicate time and energy into the sports that I wanted to play. But I did try out. I would try to stay active, play basketball with my friends, stuff like that. So just different areas and things that I had to learn how to control my breathing and kind of like not manipulate, but kind of get my asthma to a point where it was manageable.
Well, again, much respect for that because that's awesome in my opinion.
But thank you.
All right, Cap, mask away.
If you wanted to pay to see a promoter get hit with a Kindle or nunchucks, would you pay to see it?
No, not really. I mean, why is the promoter getting hit with nunchucks or a kendo stick? Like, is it a part of something that's been going on? Has he been being like a dick to the crowd and, he's finally going to get his or something? Like, it's been like a consistent thing that's going on. Like, or are we just doing it for shits and giggles? Because if we just doing it for shits and giggles, I don't want that a part of something I'm coming to see. I want to see the wrestling.
I will let Heartbreaker explain that, why I asked that question.
Why would I get to explain it? It's not me. It's. Go ahead, Nate. Explain to Deonte.
All right, so I ran my mouth to Miss Yvonne. One too many times. So at inclusion, she threatened to hit me with a kendo stick. Like you, I ain't gonna turn down nothing. So if she wants to try to hit me with a kendo stick, she can try, but.
All right, so I'm not getting between you and Yvonne. That's between you and Yvonne. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
That's
Smart
a
man.
fair enough. Smart man.
I'm not doing
Smart
it, sir.
Smart man.
Not her answer to that question.
So, anyways, Nate, back to you, bud.
So let's go with some current stuff that just actually happened yesterday. What do you think about Edge showing up? Or I'm sorry, now it's Adam Copeland showing up in AEW.
Honestly, I'm excited for it. Just like he was saying in the press conference, I didn't get to watch Wrestle Dream, and I didn't really get to watch a lot of the post-match, post-show media scrum. But I kept up on highlights or whatever, and like he said, he has a lot of opportunity to work with some different talent that he hasn't worked for. He has a chance to rekindle some rivalries or some friendships with certain talent that he used to work with in WWE. So it creates a new dynamic for a new fan base on, over there on TNT and TBS, who either may not have seen Edge in a while and they might not watch WWE because they love AEW, or just for the that wrestling fan that just likes to see like what are they going to do here? What type of matches can he put on? How are they going to use him? And how's it going to look? A year from now after he's been there for a year, like how much of him is going to wrestle? Or is he wrestling every week? Is it just going to be like a special attraction? Like it's so many questions, but as a fan, I'm just going to watch it play out and enjoy.
Well, I mean, in all the respect to him, he ain't starting small because they announced on the media scrum that he's wrestling Luchasaurus on next Tuesday.
Yeah. So exactly. So again, exciting new matches, a new opponent, which means that more than likely because of how he debuted, it's probably going to lead to something with him and Christian. Which honestly, if it leads to a match with him and Christian, beautiful. But the
Yep.
the the person in me that's kind of like thinking and using my noggin, I feel like it might be a swerve, and Edge might be working with Christian. It might be this whole little like mini brood type of family thing that goes on. Who knows? I don't know, but my wheels are turning with it. So
All right, Tap. What do you got?
Okay, since we're doing something current, what was your favorite match from NXT No Mercy?
I haven't watched it yet. I was wrestling myself, man. I wrestled 2 matches. How am I supposed to watch a pay-per-view?
I was gonna say he's a
I mean a premium live event. Excuse me, they're not PPVs anymore. They're PLEs.
That's right.
But yeah, I was wrestling myself. I had 2 matches. Like, I mean, I can't sit up here and watch. I can say I try to take in as much wrestling as I can, but it's only so much time in the day.
Okay, let me rephrase that question. What was your take on Danielson and Sabre Jr.'s match?
I haven't watched Wrestle Dream, but I'm pretty sure it was a Dave Meltzer 5-star classic. Is Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. So 2 of the best technical wrestlers in the world. I wish I could have half of their technical prowess, for sure. And if we're being honest, every match Daniel Bryan has put on in AEW since he's debuted has been nothing short of, masterpiece matches. He's blended his styles with, everybody from Adam Page to Kenny Omega, you know, Kazuchika Okada, right? Wasn't that at Forbidden Door?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then now you have another technical person like him, and then also he wrestled. Well, no, that was Jericho. Jericho wrestled Ospreay, but like I feel like Danielson and Will Ospreay is going to be a thing too. So, like when you want those when I think of Danielson, even though he was trained by Shawn Michaels, I get like the Bret Hart thing. Like people
Yeah.
people in the 90s that, when Bret was the face of like the new generation, him and Shawn, and then like, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, when those guys were the face of the new generation, Bret was that guy that just went out and just had like, some of the like best technical matches. And then but he can blend his style with a Kevin Nash, a Diesel, a Razor Ramon, a Undertaker, a Vader, a Shawn Michaels, a Mankind. Like, and even Shawn was the same way. He blended really well with everybody. So when you get a person like a Bryan Danielson, who's very adept, his styles can clash with anybody because, wrestling is technically based. So you can use their technical to fight with a brawler. You can use them to, apply submissions with a grappler. You can it's so many ways to be versatile as a technician. That sometimes I think like people will take it for granted, like his matches, because even in WWE, he was putting on like even on his way out, he was putting on some of the best work that I mean, all his work has been great, but like some of his best matches, even going out, like when doing that, non-fan phase in the pandemic era, and him and Edge and Roman wrestling at WrestleMania and the triple threat match, and like just little different things that he does that sticks out, just shows you like how great he is.
I agree. So who since you've been wrestling in the Northwest on a regular basis, who do you think's like right on the cusp of making it to maybe like an AEW or a WWE or maybe even Impact?
A lot of people. I'm being honest. There's a lot of guys. I mean, like somebody who I've known for a long time, Jaden. Um, Jaden is definitely one of those guys that even like 5, 6 years ago when I first met him, like that kid had the potential to be in WWE, like, way back when he was just a teenager. Like kind of like how Nick Wayne is right now in AEW, like that that was Jaden then, and then Jaden now, and how he's evolved and how he's always been really great at, you know, adapting and, switching up his style. And, he's another one of those people that can mix styles with like anybody. Like he's really great, like really great wrestler. There's also Derek Shaw, another solid wrestler who can, go toe to toe with some of the best that the Pacific Northwest has to offer. Um, a lot of guys I can see. A lot of guys that come from the Oregon Pro Wrestling School. There's, the Flaming Aces as a tag team. I think they have some potential that, can be molded really well and like pushed on the national TV circuit. The Hammer Brothers are another set. I feel like what they have and who they are, like they know who they are as wrestlers, and what their gimmick is, what their thing is. Like I feel like that could definitely get over, on a bigger stage if pushed right. You know, um, Amira's another one. Rebel Kale's another person as well. Rebel Kale and Amira.
Very nice.
I mean, yes, it's a lot of talent. I mean, it's a lot of people that I can put out there and think about. I mean, honestly, even not trying to not trying to have any bias, but I'd be lying if I didn't put myself on that list. I feel like if I was given the opportunity, I will push myself, and I can swim in one of those places.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
What do I got? I don't know. I got a lot.
Well, I mean, besides like the most quintessential '70s mustache I've ever seen.
I don't know. Maybe the two promoters should go at it at the show, man. I mean, you've been talking so much smack. Somebody needs to shut you up sometime,
Like I said before, anybody can try it, but we'll see what happens.
But anyways, no, the question. Okay, so let's see here. To catch Principal Tap up a little bit, let's go back to some of the. I guess we can go back to some of the questions, Nate.
Okay.
What were some of our favorite ones? Let's see here. Possibly, I can't remember what his answers were to these, but I think a refresher for Principal Tap would be awesome. So why don't we just go some of your heroes growing up, or some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Sting, Bret Hart, Sean. Love Kevin Nash and Scott Hall as Diesel and Razor Ramon, and as themselves in WCW. Lex Luger, Rob Van Dam.
All right, Messiah.
All right, so this one might actually have a different answer this time because you wrestled quite a bit since we've had you on last. What was the craziest match you've been in so far in your career?
It ain't changed. It's probably the unsanctioned lights out match I had with Tyson Lee back in Oregon Wrestling Club in September of 2019. 4-year anniversary was like a couple days ago.
Very cool.
Yeah, I jumped off a ladder, so that's probably the craziest thing that I've done in a match. I mean, well, you know what? I got fish hooked with a turnbuckle, and I got slammed on 6th Avenue in downtown Portland. So that is like that. It's up there with the unsanctioned match. But I did jump off a ladder and I got put through a table off a stage, which for some people I know this is like, yeah. I mean, in retrospect, in the time when it happened, it wasn't the best feeling in the world. But I mean, like sometimes when you look at it from the outside, and I watch it back as just a fan, it's like that was pretty sick. That was a pretty like kudos to Tyson for doing that. I mean, he reversed me and he took me through the table, but it wasn't the best feeling thing in the world. There's a floor on the bottom. It wasn't a ring. I wasn't put through a table in the ring. I was thrown off a stage through a table on the floor. It wasn't the best feeling, but that was pretty crazy.
Sounds like it. All right, Tab.
All right, this one's going back to way back. Out of these three guys of the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, and Dennis Condrey, which one of those three is the most deserving of the Hall of Fame induction?
Why not all three of them?
Ooh, I like that answer.
And I do. I like that. I keep pushing for them to all go in, but if only one gets put in, who would you like to see the most?
So honest answer, if I'm not even being biased, if I just got to go by, who I know from the group, it'd be Bobby Eaton, because Bobby Eaton was on my TV screen as a child on WCW Saturday Night in the mid '90s, and he wrestled even on Nitro. Now, but I always hear about Stan Lane, and how great of a wrestler he was, but I'm not too familiar with Stan Lane as I was with Bobby Eaton. Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
I have to agree with you. Bobby Eaton was one of the best technical wrestlers of his time.
That's. I'm still here. I just had to cut the camera off for a second.
All right, Heartbreaker, you got a question?
Hang on,
okay. So let's go with your top 5 indie tag teams right now.
Indie tag teams: Flaming Aces, the Hammer Brothers. There's a tag team up in Canada called Reloaded. Midnight Heat. Ricky Gibson and Eddie Pearl, and C4.
Very nice. All right, Tab, what do you got?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of one that. All right, we're gonna go off of wrestling, and I'm gonna ask you a baseball question.
Okay.
In your opinion, who's going to win the World Series?
You want me to apply wrestling to baseball, or you want me to actually answer a baseball question?
Ask a baseball question. I'm asking a baseball question.
I mean, if I gotta pick somebody to win a World Series, I mean, I don't even know who's in it right now. But I'm from Chicago, so if it ain't the Cubs or the White Sox, I don't really care.
Good answer. I like that.
That's a great answer. So who, if you had a dream opponent uh on the indies right now that you haven't had a chance to wrestle yet for whatever reason, who would it be?
I have a lot of dream opponents for people I haven't wrestled on the indies yet. Again, it's one of the things about trying to build my name up. One, I would love to wrestle some AEW talent that still gets to, wrestle the indie shows. I just seen that Adam Cole was going to be wrestling at DPW, or he's supposed to be scheduled to wrestle at DPW in November against YouTuber and content creator named Chris Danger. He basically he streamed a lot of WWE 2K content, wrestling content, on YouTube, on Twitch, things of that nature. And he decided to actually go pursue his dream of becoming a professional wrestler. And he did some training with Tyler Breeze and a couple other guys. And then, like I say, because he reviews a lot of video games for companies like 2K with WWE and AEW, he has a lot of connections. So very interesting to see something like that. Like, you know, but I can't say that I can narrow it down to who I would want to face as much, because there's so much new talent out there, and there's so many people that I haven't faced, and so many people that I, even in this area, I still want to face. But I'm just trying to take the opportunities as they come and continue to try to build and get, better, better opportunities, better chances to prove myself. Like every match is another chance to better yourself, improve yourself. So I don't want it to come off like I'm saying like somebody who's a bigger name is a better chance. It's like, no, it doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter if it's Adam Cole or Drew McIntyre. You should treat every opportunity, every match as it's like it's your last. But of course, those names carry weight, so of course they are going to matter. But give every opponent the same respect. It's kind of like what I'm getting at.
It looks like we lost our Messiah. Okay, I'm going to ask you a fatal four-way question.
Okay.
Out of these four guys in a fatal four-way elimination,
Mm-hmm.
and in order, who would be eliminated and who would win? I'm going to say, I'm going to throw technicals in there. Bobby Eaton, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, and let's say you.
Wait. Okay, you said, what was the first two names? Bret Hart and me?
Bobby Eaton.
Uh-huh.
And Bret Hart.
Uh-huh.
Ric Flair and you.
Oh, okay. Well, first and foremost, if we gotta go eliminate, I ain't trying to get eliminated. We gonna have to get Bobby Eaton up out of there first. Then it comes down to, see, again, I would like to see, I could see a bunch of different outcomes with that. Like it could be me versus Brett, or me versus Rick, but then you also can want to see Brett versus Rick. So it's like, do you get rid of me next? But because I want to leave Rick in there because Rick is the dirtiest player in the game, so I'm pretty sure Rick will find a way to eliminate me or Brett. But at the same time, name wise, Brett makes more sense. But like if you're pushing, depending on what this match is about, and you try to give a young up and coming wrestler opportunity, then we'd have to get rid of either Brett or Rick. That's a hard decision, but to get rid of somebody second, like especially those two names, because those are two names that I actually look up to and have respect for. So you would throw me in there with those two names. I would go out next after Bobby Eaton, and then it come down to Ric Flair or Brett. And honestly, is how does Rick play it? Is it does he do what he normally does to get the figure four and get the Brett passes out type of thing, or the ref counts to 1, 2, 3, or does Brett get Rick in the sharpshooter? And I got a soft spot for the good guys. I'm gonna go with Brett. Brett is the winner.
Okay, I love that one.
That's a great question.
That was hard.
That was a hard question.
Why you give me hard questions? Like, do you not respect the king? Do you not like?
I respect the king.
Yeah, you wouldn't give me hard questions. I see what it is. I see how you treat me. It's okay.
He's gonna have to bow to the king, right? That's the way it's.
Bend the knee, man. Bend the knee.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I can't talk for Principal Pat, but he is a principal. He thinks that he's better than everybody.
Who's the principal? Your principal?
That's my
character.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait a minute. You don't be getting pushed around by the little kids, do you? Don't. It's okay. Like wink twice, if you need help.
So, all right. So Nathan, now since you're actually back, Messiah, you can go ahead and ask a final question.
So, where can we find you on social media?
Social media at 1ST King _Hitman, I think, on X, Twitter, whatever it's called now. On IG, is I believe the Black King Deonte Ford, or just look up Deonte Ford. I should pop up. Same with Facebook. Facebook is Deonte King Ford. You can look me up there. Still working on my Black King page. YouTube, look up the Black King Deonte Ford, and my matches should pop up. Other than that, I'm not really on Snapchat like that. That's more for personal stuff anyway. So I'm on TikTok. I just don't make TikToks. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I guess that's the old man in me, still trying to figure out this newfangled technology, So, but yeah, you can catch me on those socials, and again, like I say, catch me at an event. I'm always down to sign autographs, take pictures. It's all about giving back to the people.
All right, Heartbreaker, you got one last question?
Well, we haven't thanked the sponsors yet, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. So we want to thank Kevin Walston, American Family Insurance. We want to thank Bob's Little Car Hospital. We want to thank Dochi Gallery Tattoo, Las Ayupitas Taqueria, El Ranchero's Mexican Restaurant, Bruce Nichols Painting,
American Park Rugged Made. I think that Precision Power Washing. And Twin City Banks.
So with that being said, I think that is it. Cap, do you have one more question? As long as it's an easy one. It is the King's birthday after all.
Yeah, come on. You ask him that kind of hard question on his birthday, man.
I don't, but you guys did forget the CARE program.
Oh, yes, the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody.
All right. Well, with that being said, we appreciate you taking an hour out of your busy day and your birthday, no less, to come on and BS with us and promote inclusion. And we, again, thank you for coming to our first show and wrestling on it. It's an honor for us to have you on the show with us. So for Principal Tap, for myself, and for Nathan, you say it's a simple procedure, man, but make sure it's the back and nothing else.
Hey, that's up to the doctor, man. I'll be unconscious, so I don't know what's going to happen in that surgery.
But no, man, speedy recovery. We love you. We'll see you when you get back home. But until then, we should have Mr. Happy on tomorrow. So until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.